Oh yeah. Hi guys, welcome back. I am well rested. It's my day off. My cold is gone. My Ninja Turtle cup is filled with black coffee.
I'd be glad to.
And we're ready to go.
Yes?
When last we left, I think we did rest. Let's find out if we rested or not. Hello again, anything I can do for you? We still have rooms open and it's never too early for a drink. I think I already had the room. I already had the rest. So, let's go back into town. Oh, I also moved where the camera is. So we're wearing my favorite Ruka hoodie, RVCA, or RUCA, depending on how you look at it. It's starting to fray a little bit though. I'm gonna have to sew this up. It's old. It's a good 7-8 years old, but it's one of my favorites. Oh, my League of Legends controls are kicking in. I'm playing a lot of League lately. Fast mode. There we go. So where have we gone so far? Let's go back to the tree because I just had a nightmare saying that I feel like I need to see her again. And there she is. Let's walk up and see what she has to say. The dead body. Caldara del Baranzi, the squat, distended body of an elderly woman, dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her nose. Ooh. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward, rigidly from one side to the other, when the breeze shifts. It's pretty descriptive and gross. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Oh, I'm going to reach out. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt in your mind and a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Okay. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from trees that stand planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head. The rope creaks as she does so, and she smiles at you. Ugh, it's not a smile I want to see.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
It's hot coffee. Check it out, I can't see. I can't see! Well, I guess I won't be drinking that just yet. Her eyes squint as she peers down at you. Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I, wherever here may be.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
Like I'm in the Matrix.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What is a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
She seems very nonplussed for someone who's been murdered.
Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Okay.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
So I can see past lives. I think I survived a Baywick. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
I don't really think it was luck.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade.
And the music is
Cold,
starting.
I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You are dead. What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm
she knows
sure.
something.
It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprout from one of her cheeks. She, mind you. Ugh. Hot.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I.
Ooh, a name.
A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow.
Okay.
He will welcome the company.
You said souls break apart over time. I want to know something about you. Farewell. I think I'm more stoic. Do I really want to know something about you? No.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though. Of course, dear.
Souls break apart over time. That would be interesting to know.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
She clicks her tongue. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to her.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes, and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surrounding seems to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Goner was granted the crucible of the soul. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seem lost just now. Yeah, I'm fine. That's good to know, he folds his arm. But I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. I guess I trust him enough to tell him right away. It's my only option. I am a watcher. He arches his eyebrow, receding in his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expected to. That explains how you survived a Baywick, Sorry about that. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Squeeze me. Only that they're rare, and that they seem to have a unique insight into certain soul conditions. He coughs, as you just demonstrated. Well, let's continue on. Yeah, leveled up! Alright. I was looking at... we're going to keep going with stealth, athletics, and mechanics. It's going to cost 2, that's going to cost 3, so that'd be 5 of the 7. And that'd be 7 of the 7, so we'll just go bam, bam, and bam. So my stealth is now rank 3, which is great. Athletics is rank 4, which gives me second wind at 35 endurance. And mechanics will help me see traps. Let's go to next. I want dirty fighting, I think. What does dirty fighting do? The rogue employs a variety of underhanded tactics, turning some of their hits into critical hits passively, plus 10%. Yeah, 10% crit. For sure, because I'm ranged. And then, do I get anything else? No. So I'm going to have like a handful of guns and be more sniperish, popping out of stealth from, and I'm going to have to get a tank at some point in time, because right now it's just me and a mage, which are both like backline characters. I have no frontline character. I like the fact that you're good on lore. I still think mechanics, and I still think, is it survivability? Oh, neat. Damage reduction, receive health multiplier, bonus movement. Wow, they really changed survivability. You get a lot of interesting things. Accuracy bonus versus creature type. Increased consumable duration bonus. There was one that, was it athletics? It just makes you tired less often, so you don't get exhausted, you don't have to rest as much. We'll go with lore for sure. And I don't need 2 characters with mechanics. So I want to think that, athletics and survivability will be good for him too. I think 3 skills per character is about right. Okay, spells. Now, what do I remember that's really good? This thing is amazing. Console Hot's Parasitic Staff. And Slicken was good, but I think they nerfed it. And I think Ghostblade was really good, but then they over-nerfed it, and then they fixed it. Fleet of Foot gives you speed. That's always good. Let's take a look over here. There's not a lot of really damaging. Necrotic Lance is pretty good. Let's read it. Creates a lance of pure necrotic energy, causing corrode damage instantly and over time. So it does 37 to 48 corrode damage, and then 33.6 corrode damage over 6 seconds. That's pretty good on damage, so we'll go with that. And do I want Fleet of Foot? Do I want some crowd control with Slicken? I think crowd control would be good. I would really like Console Hot's Parasitic Staff, but that turns you into like a tanky melee wizard, and I don't really see him being strong enough to do that. So let's get Slicken and go with next. Done. Ooh, I'm excited. God, time passes so quickly, so I want to make episode... What? I want, you know, the episodes to be about half an hour, but it's so easy for time to fly. So, I want to talk to you guys about something really special that happened to me this week. I got to buy a book. This was amazing. So I don't get to buy fiction books very often because I just finished 6 years of education, and all of it was very heavy reading. So I just graduated, yay me, and I got to go into a bookstore and buy a fiction book for myself, and it was so rewarding. I'm like 2/3 of the way through it. I bought it like just the other day. One of my favorite authors that has already passed away, unfortunately. His name is David Gemmell. And I saw a book of his that I didn't know existed, so I bought it up joyously, and I spent a couple hours a day reading it, and it's almost gone already. Anyway, if you want to ask me more about it, do so in the comments, and I'll tell you all about him. He's an amazing author. Maybe I'll write about it in the comments. Let's get back to this. The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origins, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
People hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
I like this guy. What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment. His brow arches. His smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack, I took you for a Radric at first.
Do you know what a watcher is? I've been out of sorts lately. Impossible, I don't drool half as much. So you're already familiar. Still, you'll have to forgive my curiosity. Around here, we prefer to turn a blind eye to our dead. I've been out of sorts lately. Of course, we all got our bad days when we stand perfectly still and stare at corpses for a while without blinking. He winks. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
None taken. Good. Then don't take it personally when they hang. They don't mean it personally when they hang folks here. I have to remind myself.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war. Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decided he's the living incarnation of Eothas, overthrows Red Saris, marches on Deerwood. So we gave him a Deerwoodian hello. What's a Deerwoodian hello?
We blew him up.
He smiles at this. But it is the smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. In other words, the smile's not meeting his eyes, only his mouth. Who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kulse, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. So you were plotting against him, and he protected you. Who's Kulse? Someone who's got tired of all the hanging. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
So he worshipped the god of rebirth that someone claimed to be and that they blew up.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Damn, this place is fucking dark.
After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern.
Oh.
Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Yeah. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Oh yeah, Aloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. So if you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where to go yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. Could we travel together? Or we could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Caed Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be
I like this
told,
character.
you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
Certainly wouldn't. It's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward, gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. Well, guys, that's 20 minutes already. I'm going to keep playing, but I'm going to break this up into another episode. So thank you kindly for watching, and hopefully you're enjoying the story as much as I am. I tend to listen to role-playing games sometimes, so I'm keeping this somber, and I'm reading everything, because if you ever want to listen into this without watching it, maybe it can rock you to sleep, maybe you just want to listen to a story while you're, on your cell phone. This is one of the best out there, and I really enjoyed it, and that's why I'm playing it like such. Can't wait to do some more. Have yourself a great day. Thanks kindly. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.